Well, I hope you like Randy, because we're going to be seeing a lot of Randy in this video.
Should I make the obvious joke of him just being Randy?
I was going to go with something with magic USB drives, but sure, your joke was better.
Can I just say the soundtrack for this game is better than it deserves to be?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It is, it's fantastic.
If I recall correctly, you said that some of the music was made by the 5678s, right?
Yes, and I want to apologize to them because I called them a fake band last video. That's not the case. They're very real. They've been around since the 80s, and they were on the Kill Bill soundtrack.
Yeah, so now you feel bad.
Yes.
Oh, look, it's a kangaroo.
Yeah, speaking of feeling bad, here's Count the Kangaroo.
What the city engineers dumped there. Pipes, cylinders, wheels, even whole engines. That day, I was in the old heart of the Fell Yards, where no one ever goes.
Yep, Toshi's just a glorified dumpster diver.
It's nice to know that Lower Michigan is still just a giant dumpster.
I mean, Upper Michigan is about the same, so...
You're not wrong.
Somewhere deep under the scrapyard. And then I saw it. Dormant. Just hovering there. Like if gravity was just a suggestion, not a rule.
Says the guy who makes a bike that rides on walls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is starting a trend of several levels in a row that start off with an MRU right at the beginning.
Reporter with an official emergency broadcast from the town hall. Our city is under attack by unknown robotic constructs. While the nearby military forces engage the enemy, we urge the citizens to leave the city by any possible means.
Flee the Bronx! Leave the Bronx!
Citizens of Coastal City, and may God deliver us all in this dark hour.
Well, that was enlightening. I do promise, there are a couple of the MRU broadcasts that are actually relevant to the plot.
Okay, to be fair, I just gotta laugh at the subtitle you put there.
Yeah, some of the MRUs are relevant to the plot. I promise.
Well, I mean, the entire point of this is that everything's couched in the concept of it being a sort of a flashback and talking about what the hell happened.
Also, I have a lot of trouble picking up this ammo. The hitbox is very literal.
Where is it?
What the hell was that?
Congratulations, that was actually funny.
Anyway, that was... and keeping up the funny, I like this cop here with the laziest running animation I've seen.
I mean, I've seen lazier. Congratulations.
Yeah, Randy's grappling hook, it's very difficult to use. And don't use it if there's a cliff.
No, do use it. Amuse us.
Floaters are pretty standard enemies. They will actually go or sort of burrow into the ground after a while, and at that point, if you get within range, they will explode.
So basically, they're also landmines. Should we make the typical fart joke?
Please do.
And I think we're going to be seeing Randy's ultimate a bit later on in this video. There it is. Basically, he just takes out several different harpoons all at once. And there are upgrades to increase the number of harpoons that get shot out.
So what the hell does that ultimate actually do? It just slings harpoons everywhere. It does no damage. It's missed everything anyway.
In its standard unupgraded form, it is pretty shit. But later on, it's decent.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, you also said that the more you use it, the more likely you are to find a crash in the game.
That's for the primary attack.
And that's supposed to be reassuring?
Roadblock?
These attempts at sarcasm are adorable. Anyway, this is where the secret is in this level. It's actually underneath where you would normally have the lift bridge. So we'll backtrack up here and then ride up this wall.
Which are apparently the pneumatic mail pipes for the city.
Yeah, this is what counts as Amazon Prime in the 40s. One of the optional objectives is to raise the bridge within the first 2 minutes of the level. No way I'm doing that with the playstyle I'm trying to do.
I'm sorry, owie?
Yes, Randy continues to be the best.
I mean, I can't really describe him as the best, but at least he's entertainingly aggravating.
Yeah, he's hammy in the best possible way. Sometimes your bike could do that.
Yeah. Good landing.
Eventually. On the second time. Also, when the bridge is raised, the ends of the bridge they count as unstable. There's a little bit of difference in the elevation. So I would recommend jumping over those. Like that.
So basically there's a lip to it, and every time you catch lip.
Yes, I think it's because the lip has a little bit of overlap with the bridge object, which messes with the physics.
I'm not surprised, considering how much this game is about messing with physics in the dumb way possible.
The thing is, I don't think they're trying to mess with the physics in a dumb way. I honestly believe that Tate Multimedia were trying to make an exciting action game on motorcycles.
Well,
and it just
wait
didn't
till we
work
when
out.
there's something exciting, okay?
No. It's lore friendly. Remember, gravity was just a suggestion.
Or at least that applied to that one orb that Toshi found and hasn't told anybody yet. Remember that
Well,
part?
of course not. He's a dumbass teenager. Of course he's not going to tell anyone that he found something potentially with potential ramifications.
Yeah, also, that whole thing happened a month before the start of this game. That's important to keep in mind for plot revelations much later on.
Because Toshi's an idiot.
Yeah, he is absolutely an idiot. And he's an idiot who is afraid of telling stories that'll make him look stupid, which is also important.
Which is kind of entertaining because everything he does makes him look stupid.
True. The writers really nailed the typical teenager.
Perhaps accidentally. I feel like that owie line is much more appropriate for Toshi than it is for Randy. Randy would be a lot more over the top and like try to play his pain for sympathy. Also, here's something I haven't pointed out yet, which is that spinners are immune to the deflect. They are, I think, the only enemy or one of the only enemies in the game that you cannot spin.
I mean, to be fair, they are suicidal pinballs.
And coming up is one of my favorite Randy lines right after this cutscene.
That should do it.
Let's get bonkers!
Yeah, it's the voice crack on Bonkers that really makes it, I think.
It really does remind you that pretty much every character in this is like 10.
At least emotionally 10.
Oh, probably mentally too.
We are going to get the straight man or the straight woman of the group, because the whole point of this is to acquire Lisa, who is the last member of the Steel Rats, and she of course has her own completely unique playstyle, attacks, and actually has unique qualities about her bike as well.
So basically, there's a possibility she's not half crap.
Yeah, she's more quarter crap. It's kind of hard to really get into a situation where you could actually show the self-inflicted damage that the harpoon could do, where it's definitely more dangerous to Randall than it is to his enemies.
Welcome to Coastal City, boys. What took you so long?
Did anyone notice you didn't have a cigarette at all?
I didn't notice that until you just pointed it out, so probably not. If I remember correctly, this is also one of those situations where I just barely missed the score requirement, but I kind of overcompensated in my off-screen run.
Yeah. Why not play a crappy level twice?
Lisa's thing is that she plays with fire. Her primary attack, she shoots out flame jets on either side of her bike. And this upgrade you absolutely want to get at the start, Burning Jet. This allows her to have a flamethrower underneath her bike when she's jumping.
I'm just gonna quietly point out that Mad Max did it better.
You can say that about a lot of motorcycle-related media.
Well, specifically the argument of having a flamethrower on a vehicle. Mad Max did it better.
True.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, you notice we still have a lot of junk, over 33,000 junk. It really, if you buy everything you possibly can right at the start, it'll take you until like the fourth area to actually run out of junk.
Maybe we'll get an update.
Yeah, it's exactly the same broadcast.
You know, we could help them.
I think you missed a few words there, Lisa.
Big machine here. Big junk bot that spawns smaller flying ones that shoot at dirigibles. It's on the rooftop.
Nope, that's it. Perfect. We're only doing one take.
And I heard about another one in the subway tunnel.
We're no heroes, guys!
Well, we can try to clear them out. Help with this evacuation. James?
We're doing it. Roll out.
This is a CSTV reporter with an official...
Yeah, this is the one time in the game that they actually try to help the civilians of Coastal City. Or at least do so in a manner that is not also beneficial to their goals.
Their goals being run away.
And possibly stop the invasion, more so they can have a city to run around in. Also, there's a pretty interesting physics glitch coming up here with the spinner.
Like that one?
Yes, that's a canned animation. Probably because I'm guessing that they had problems with the physics system creating an attack, so they just made it independent of all the physics in the area.
Let's be honest, we could probably compare the physics to bad rats and be not too far off if we're being uncharitable.
So, Grump, earlier you were talking about dodging trains. Well, this is an entire set piece. And unfortunately, I kind of fucked this first one up. Oh shit!
Oh god!
The sad thing is that you know that the train would go right through that barrier anyway, because it was basically matchsticks.
Oh yeah, it goes right through the barrier when you do the set piece properly. Yep, it's still going.
Oh yeah.
There are also a surprising number of sound bites for various things, like when you pick up guns, or when they have, or when a character runs out of energy, that kind of thing.
Meanwhile, have you thought like Insomniac today? Because I would think that this level's secret would be hiding behind the train that just left.
You'd think that, but no, that's not it. Anyway, we've got the enemy that was alluded to earlier on by Lisa in the wonderfully acted monologue. It's coming up right here. We're actually going to rescue like 3 people.
3 whole people, you say?
Okay, sorry, it's more like 10. Look, I'm trying, okay? I can only make this game look so cool.
I mean, credit where it is due. I've said this before, but the game does at least try within its aesthetic, and Diesel Punk is an aesthetic that really deserves to be shown off more.
So the Hatcher is an enemy that infinitely spawns out spinners. It has like one shockwave attack, and that's about it. It's pretty easy to take care of, but really it's the spinners that are a real problem, because dealing with 2 or 3 spinners at once, depending on which character you're playing as, can be a real hassle.
Well, I have to say this about the Hatcher. Aesthetically, it doesn't look bad, even if it does look like a very angry hairdryer.
And we just picked up our first shotgun, which was one of the free upgrades that we got earlier on. And it is a surprisingly good shotgun, at least when it comes to the sound. There's not much damage feedback, but the sound is really chunky and it works well.
I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to awesome shotgun sounds, you can very rarely do better than Doom 2016.
True.
In at least one instance, I've compared a couple of shotguns in various games to, quote, being affronts to God, because they just sound so wimpy.
This one does not sound wimpy, although it does have the issue with lock-on that every other gun in this game does. So, admittedly, that's not a fault exclusive to this gun. And for some reason, those pneumatic pipes were on fire earlier. I'm not sure why, but...
Oh, it's probably a hot news week.
Yeah, that's true.
I do love the noise it makes when you're on the pipes.
Yeah, this secret is actually decently placed, because you get a very split-second glimpse of it, as long as you were paying attention.
And if you go too high too fast, you end up falling to your death anyway.
Well, actually, as I think I mentioned before, you can turn around while on the pipes. So as soon as you see it, you can at least make a U-turn and backtrack. Okay, this is important in the background. You see that dirigible being shot down. Those are civilians failing to be evacuated from the city. That is going to be important for the next level. And I don't know why that particular detail was just so offhand.
I mean, they're trying to make it look like everything's gone to hell and the entire city is under attack, but they're just not showing it.
It's like a C- for effort.
Yeah, I mean, they're at least showing some effort in the fact that, well, there's actual things happening in the background. It's just one thing does not a conflict make.
Anyway, Lisa has a bunch of flame-related attacks, not just the the spouts of fire on the side. Also, the shotgun makes very quick work of hatchers.
I'll definitely give credit to the shotgun for being able to splatter large enemies because of the fact that it has more surface area to hit.
Also, you might have noticed that Randy's subtitle was completely off. That's going to happen several more times in the rest of this level, and the level's almost over.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised at just how long this level is. And normally we're averaging, what, 3.5 minutes for one of these?
Yeah, it tends to alternate between much longer multi-path levels and, the other subtitle issue I was thinking of is the next level. But yeah, the levels, I think some of the better levels in this game are the shorter ones, because they also tend to focus very specifically on one gimmick and roll with that. And I think it works a lot better. And so we're going to give Lisa some extra health. She kind of needs it. She's also a speedster in that sense. She, when fully upgraded, she has the fastest movement speed of anyone in the gang. We also got an upgrade to James for his ultimate attack that stuns enemies who are caught in the blast.
I mean, that would be kind of useful if every enemy doesn't explode on contact with whatever he does.
Yeah, in a couple levels later on, we will see, we'll be fighting multiple goons at once, and in that sense, it's definitely useful.
Gotta keep looking for those silver linings, right?
Yeah, I mean, just because there are more things I don't like than I do like in this game, that doesn't mean that there's nothing to like. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing a game can do, in my opinion, is be just forgettable.
And here comes a huge dump of plot that just comes out of nowhere. I don't think they had a place to put it. Actually, it's going to come up in about a minute, but we will be hearing from that a little later on, maybe about 30 seconds or so. But first, there's a new enemy type. This is the Charging Goon. The Charging Goon has a shield that it can use to block your wheel saw from the front. So in that case, you have to go around and attack it from the back, or use attacks like Lisa. If you get into another lane, Lisa can hit the Charging Goon from the side when it has its shield up.
Yeah, it looks like that when it has its shield deployed, it's no longer mobile, too.
Yeah.
Turn them off? Just like that?
Explain.
Well, they show behavior patterns consistent with that of a swarm or other insectoid collective.
English, egghead!
I think there is a single brain behind the invasion. Turn that off.
We stopped the invasion.
Makes sense. The army and police don't have our speed and our maneuverability.
Nor our balls! Boom!
Where is this thing?
Cell yards.
And Toshi, what makes you so sure about that?
Simple observation. 1. Broadcasts mention that the invasion started in the eastern Old Town. 2. Junk bombs are made out of junk. Our junk.
Don't talk about my junk like that.
Parts of old cars.
Balls!
Conclusion, cell yards.
This actually makes perfect sense.
Don't you lie, Randy.
And just like that, the plot has arrived. Oh my god!
I mean, we know full well that because Toshi is an idiot and a goober at best, he's actually lying about why he knows it's in the bell yards.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That story about having him make a perfectly logical deduction, that makes a lot more sense than one day I was dumpster diving, fell on my ass like an idiot, and accidentally discovered this giant orb that I told nobody about for a month until aliens invaded.
Well, I mean, one of them would be more honest and probably end up with him getting his ass kicked by all his buddies.
Sometimes you have to get your ass kicked in order to save some lives.
I don't know why we couldn't be playing that game right now, beat Toshi.
Yeah. I would like to see this game told specifically from Randall's point of view, where he just dunks on Toshi for the entire game. So this is one of the few, real physics puzzles in the whole game, which just boils down to lower this barrier. Also, don't worry about this. I was trying to recreate a glitch where I got stuck inside the switch in one of my practice recordings, but it didn't work.
Well, different types of jank every time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That is one thing I will say about this game. It never breaks the same way twice.
Really doing this?
Come on. I'm sure I can turn it off.
Let's cut them all to pieces.
So I'm doubly back here because one of the optional objectives, which I kind of need the junk from it, is to kill 10 spinners. And I kind of overdo it. I think by the end I kill 20, but I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, no such thing as overkill, right?
On the one hand, this is kind of a gimme of a secret. On the other, I wasn't lined up properly. I was on the same lane as the secret, but it hadn't lined me up to be on the correct lane. This game would have been so much better from a gameplay perspective. They had just had you alternate between two very specific lanes with none of the 3D in between.
Bad Rats says hi.
You keep mentioning Bad Rats. I will have to figure out what that game is sometime.
No, you don't. It is an absolute waste of time and effort, and it got a sequel because of the fact that people kept buying it as a joke to torture their friends with.
Considering you recommended this game to me, I will consider that a harsh warning.
I have had at least 3 people try to gift it to me. I've rejected it every time.
Oh, God. Camera kind of freaks out here. I'm not sure why.
I think it's confused about the loot.
Yeah, most of the time when it comes to those pipes and scripted events with them, the camera is pretty good, but... Yeah, the shotgun doesn't like hitting things that are not directly in front of you.
That was actually a good shot.
Sometimes it does. It's incredibly inconsistent, along with everything else in this game.
I believe we can safely call this game consistently inconsistent then.
And speaking of consistent inconsistency, after I pick up this ammo here, eventually, I get one of the really, really bad, frustrating examples of clipping because of the 3D environment.
Wait, what?
I do get out of this eventually, but I have no idea how I did it.
Carefully.
Yes, let's just say I was careful. Huh, what's that in the background? I'm sure that will come up later. Anyway, sorry, you were saying?
Oh, damn it, it's that fucker.
The game seems to be okay when there's two clearly defined lines. When you have a situation with an embankment or something like that off to the side, that seems to be where a lot of the jank comes in.
Yeah, it's the in-between that causes the most issue. So, as I pointed that guy out in the background, that is actually different from the Killdozer. That is a different mech that we will see in 2 or 3 videos, I think.
It's Killdozer version 1.1.
Yeah, it's a much bigger Killdozer. That's also entirely different. And the game is trying to use environmental storytelling to connect that with the earlier shot of the dirigible in flames.
Well, I have to give the game credit. Again, just damning with faint praise. At least they're trying. They're not doing a good job of it, but again, they're willing to try, and I'll give the developers credit for that.
Yeah, there is serious effort in this game. It's just, execution-wise, it's miss and occasionally hit.
The problem here is if this is Killdozer 1.1, Killdozer got more polish than the actual game did.
Well,
surprisingly, there have been updates, like small patch things over the years. When I last recorded this, maybe it was just an illusion or a bad memory, but last week I could have sworn there was an update. There's nothing in the Steam news page to say that, but I thought I saw an update flashing in as I launched the executable. I don't know. Maybe it was just a hallucination.
well, I mean, the game does feel like a fever dream at times.